This is officially the end of an elite era. The beautiful game we grew up with, the sport that shaped our entire childhoods, is about to close its final, most emotional chapter. For over 2 decades, a select group of legendary titans has completely dominated the global stage. They didn't just play football, they rewrote the entire matrix of the sport. They shattered every single record, collected trophies like vintage coins, and delivered the greatest, most unforgiving rivalry the sports world has ever witnessed. But time remains undefeated. The biological clock is ticking, and the final whistle is calling for the kings of our generation. We are standing on the absolute precipice of a historic shifting of the guard. The world will never see players like this again. The stadiums will never echo their names in the same way. Who will finish their story with the ultimate gold? And who will leave the pitch in tears, broken by the immense, crushing weight of unfulfilled dreams? Welcome to the last dance. This is 90 Minutes Plus, and this is the final stand of the immortals. We begin our journey with the absolute master of midfield elegance, Luka Modric. At 40 years old, he enters this tournament not as a nostalgic passenger, not as a benchwarmer brought along for his past merits, but as the actual pulsating heart, the brain, and the captain of the Croatian national team. For years, the global critics and football pundits have claimed that his time was up. They said a man of his small stature couldn't survive the brutal, intense physical demands of modern international football. Yet, tournament after tournament, Modric continues to defy the laws of aging, operating with the stamina of a 20-year-old and the mind of a chess grandmaster. His entire life story reads like a Hollywood movie script. He rose from a war-torn childhood, dodging bombs and playing football on the concrete parking lots of refugee hotels, to the absolute pinnacle of world football. He carried a nation of less than 4 million people to a historic World Cup final in 2018, and followed it up with a heroic, incredible third-place finish in 2022. He did what no one else could do in the peak era of Messi and Ronaldo. He claimed the Ballon d'Or through pure, unadulterated midfield mastery. He broke the duopoly. Yet, as he looks at his legendary, crowded trophy cabinet, there is still one empty space left. One missing piece of gold. This tournament is his ultimate crusade, his final climb up the mountain. Modric knows that his relentless lungs and his iconic outer-foot passing wizardry will have to operate at maximum capacity one last time. In the tactical machine of Croatia, everything flows through him. He is the bridge between defense and attack, a player who dictates the tempo of entire stadiums with a single touch of the ball. He controls the heartbeat of the game. But playing at this level at 40 requires a superhuman level of discipline. Every single match he plays in this tournament could be his absolute last on the international stage. The Croatian fans look at him with a deep mix of immense pride and creeping heartbreak. They know that when he finally takes off that captain's armband, an unrepeatable chapter of midfield artistry dies with him. He isn't just playing for wins anymore. Luka Modric is playing for eternity. From the relentless heart of Croatia, we move straight to the tactical brain of a generation, Kevin De Bruyne. At 34 years old, Belgium's creative genius stands at a definitive, career-defining crossroads. For over a decade, he was the crown jewel, the driving force of Belgium's famous golden generation. It was a group of players that seemed destined to conquer the world, but their story was constantly plagued by tragic near-misses, tactical blunders, and internal friction. Now, the rest of that golden circle has largely faded away into retirement, leaving De Bruyne as the lone, brilliant mastermind to guide a completely new wave of raw, unpredictable young talent. De Bruyne's football intelligence is simply unmatched in the modern era. He doesn't just see the pitch, he maps it out like a quantum supercomputer. He sees passing lanes before they even exist in reality, executing assists with a surgical, mathematically impossible precision that leaves defenders frozen in disbelief. He can bend the ball around corners. But despite his genius at the club level, his World Cup legacy still feels painfully incomplete. He tasted the glory of a third-place finish back in 2018, but he also experienced the deep, bitter humiliation of failing to escape the group stage in a chaotic, dysfunctional 2022 campaign. This tournament is his final masterclass. It is his absolute last opportunity to cement his name alongside the greatest international playmakers to ever play the game, like Zidane, Maradona, and Cruyff. He is no longer surrounded by the familiar world-class veterans of his prime. Instead, he must use his elite vision to carry and elevate the young speedsters around him. Watching De Bruyne pull the strings in midfield is like watching a grandmaster play chess while everyone else on the pitch is playing checkers. He knows the extreme physical toll of modern football is catching up to his body. He knows his hamstrings are on borrowed time. This is his final curtain call, his last chance to turn Belgium's unfulfilled promise into historic, golden reality. And then we arrive at the ultimate symbol of relentless human will, a man who built an empire on pure obsession, Cristiano Ronaldo. At 41 years old, the Portuguese icon enters a mind-blowing, historic record territory that no male football player has ever touched before. He has conquered Europe multiple times, collected 5 Ballons d'Or, and became the highest-scoring international player in the entire history of the sport. He has managed to score in 5 different World Cups, a feat that completely defies modern sports science and human biology. But for a man with Ronaldo's mentality, records are just empty numbers if they don't lead to the ultimate prize. His relationship with the World Cup has been an absolute roller coaster of pure, unedited drama. It spans from a brilliant semi-final run as a young, trick-filled winger back in 2006, all the way to the heartbreaking images of him leaving the pitch in floods of tears as a benched substitute in 2022. Many thought that was the end of CR7. They thought he would fade away. But giving up is simply not in his DNA. Under new tactical leadership, Ronaldo has transformed himself yet again. He adapted. He is now surrounded by arguably the most talented, deep, and creative Portugal squad in the history of the country. His role has evolved from the explosive touchline winger to a lethal, cold-blooded, single-touch box striker. He knows the entire world is watching his every move, analyzing every sprint, waiting for his physical decline so they can write his football obituary. But Ronaldo's entire career has been fueled by the hatred of his doubters. He eats criticism for breakfast. This is his final chance to claim the one trophy that has eluded his grasp for 20 years. This is the one piece of silverware that would definitively, undeniably end the GOAT debate forever. Finally, we look at the reigning, undisputed king of the world, Lionel Messi. At 38 years old, his position in the Hall of Fame is already written in pure, unblemished gold after his immortal fairy-tale triumph in Qatar. He completed football. He broke the script. He achieved the ultimate dream that had haunted him for his entire life. So the ultimate question arises, why is he still here? Why put his body through another grueling tournament? The answer is simple, because true generational genius cannot easily walk away from the green grass of the pitch. The love for the ball is too strong. Messi enters this tournament not with the suffocating, toxic pressure of his past campaigns, where an entire nation demanded him to be Diego Maradona. He walks onto the pitch with the absolute freedom of a man who has already won it all, a man who has nothing left to prove to any human being alive. His role has beautifully, poetically evolved. He is no longer the explosive, long-haired dribbler who skips past 5 defenders in a single breath. He is now the ultimate football architect. He dictates the entire game from deeper areas, pulling the strings with a terrifying, calm intelligence. The Argentinian squad is entirely built to protect, serve, and unleash his genius. They run for him, they fight for him, they bleed for him, just to allow Messi to deliver that one final, killing pass. This is his defense of the crown. It is a celebratory victory lap that could accidentally end in the most historic back-to-back triumph ever seen in the modern era. Every single touch he takes, every magical free kick, and every microscopic shift of his hips is a historical gift to the fans. We all know the truth. When the final whistle blows on Argentina's campaign, the curtain officially falls on the greatest era of football we will ever witness. The bracket is set. The stadium lights are blinding. The legends are ready for their final stand. Who will finish their story with gold and who will say goodbye forever? Comment your predictions below, smash that subscribe button, and never miss a chapter of the beautiful game with 90 Minutes Plus.